I want to thank the sponsors of the conference, which without them, we couldn't bring the conference to you, nor could we bring you this workshop and all the other free webinars we've been offering this year. So thank you to those sponsors. And now a little bit of housekeeping just regarding Zoom. By now, I'm sure you're all expert Zoom users because we've been doing it so much over the past year and a half, but just in case, let's go over the basics. Please remain muted. In fact, you won't be able to unmute yourself, but once you are able, please do so before the breakout room. So remain muted unless it's the breakout room session. Your webcam is optional, but of course it's appreciated. It really helps the interaction and we want to encourage it, but of course, do whatever feels comfortable to you. Use the chat for questions and discussions throughout the entire workshop. The chat button is down below there. And we'll have plenty of time for your questions and interaction throughout the presentation, including some breakout rooms and some games. So look forward to that. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. Today's workshop is LMI solutions that meet your customers' needs. Our workshop facilitator is Ricky Gatz, which I will turn it over to you now. I just wanted to mention that there's also one more webinar before the conference, and in a few days' time, you can go to our website and register for that. But for now, I'm very happy to turn it over to Ricky Gratz. Thank you for hosting today's webinar.
Thank you so much, Ruben. It's a pleasure to be with you. All right, let me just share my screen here. All right. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. We're really glad you're here and spending some time with us. Just a little bit about Bidgely and who we are. So we were founded in 2011, and we're an AI-powered SaaS company based in Silicon Valley, California. Our mission is to accelerate a clean energy future for everyone by enabling utilities and consumers to make data-driven energy decisions. So for our agenda for today, we thought we'd do some quick introductions with my colleagues here momentarily. Then we'll play a fun, interactive, and engaging game to kind of test our knowledge around LMI. Then I'll pass it over to my colleague, Maria, who's going to talk about how we identify, analyze, and engage customers. We'll do some breakout rooms, which will give us a chance to really take a deeper dive into some of the issues and challenges that are facing us today for LMI customers. And then we'll close with doing some key takeaways. All right. So just by way of quick introductions, my name is Ricky Gratz. Again, it's a pleasure to be with you today. I've been in the utility industry for over 10 years in various capacities on both the regulatory side and the sales side. With that, let me turn it over to Maria.
Thanks so much, Ricky. Hi, everyone. My name's Maria Kretzing, and I'm the Director of Innovation at Bidgely, where my focus is on analytics, electric vehicles, and decarbonization. Certainly, LMI concerns fall within all of those, so happy to share some of our ideas and solutions today on that. I'll pass it to Dorcas.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Dorcas Thiongo. I've been in the utility space for about 5.5 years, primarily working in delivery roles for energy efficiency programs, as well as customer and web engagement. Definitely have seen a lot of struggles with trying to engage LMI customers. And this, I think, for me is really exciting because at Bidgely, we're trying to push that envelope and really hoping to learn from you as well as present you what we've learned so far. So thanks for joining us.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brian Cronin. I'm the sales director for Bidgely in the Northeast. I've got about 20 years experience in utility space, 16 years at National Grid, over a little over 2 years on the implementation side of Clear Result, and now I've been with Bidgely going on about 6 months. Built most of my utility and my implementing experience came from program design work, marketing support, as well as sales. So focused especially on the LMI segment in the Northeast. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Brian. Just wanted to, again, thank everyone for your participation here. We hope that was helpful and meaningful. And we will just cover a few more things here before we'll get into the meat of our solution, which we hope you will find to be really insightful. And we look forward to these breakout rooms where we can really take the opportunity to share. All right. So can everyone see my screen okay?
Nope, we don't see anything yet.
We don't see anything yet. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me go back. Apologies for that.
No, now you're good. If
Now
you
we're
could hit
good?
present.
Yes. Okay. All right. Apologies for that. Here we are. So we have 3 daughters, and one of their favorite musicals and movies is High School Musical. And the main theme from that is we're all in this together. And we truly believe that. And, you know, now more than ever, it's so important that we find solutions to help LMI customers. So before COVID-19, we knew that it was like upwards of 70 million Americans were struggling to pay their utility bills. And because, you know, a lot of us are still working remotely these days, and we're at home, we know it's harder for customers in general, but specifically for LMI customers to be able to afford their utility bills. Some of you may be familiar with the term energy burden. So just a quick definition, just so that we're all on the same page. So we define it as the percentage of household income that's spent on energy bills. So for example, if a household has $5,000 a month in income, and then their energy bills are $250 a month, then their energy burden is 5%. So what we've seen and what's been verified by ACEEE in their latest report on energy burdens is that 1/4 of all US households and 2/3 of low income ones have high energy burdens. And that number has grown, and it continues to grow due to COVID-19. So we've done a lot of research on our own. We've also looked at, you know, qualitative and quantitative research that have been done by others, and have had the opportunity to speak with industry experts. And we've identified the following challenges and opportunities. For utility customers, as I just mentioned, the increasing energy burden that has been largely caused by COVID-19 is significant and continues to be a challenge for millions of Americans. The lack of awareness of eligible programs, whether that's, you know, payment assistance programs or energy assistance or weatherization's EE programs. We've seen lots of data showing that that lack of awareness is still a really big challenge. For utilities, some of the challenges include, you know, disconnection moratoriums ending or having ended already. This increased bad debt accumulating, the negative PR that utilities get when customers are disconnected, and then some of the regulatory or policy challenges, you know, that are out there in terms of trying some new and innovative things. But on the other side, we see a lot of opportunities here. So whether that's from, you know, preventing or reducing arrearages, increasing participation in payment plans, energy assistance, weatherization, and EE programs, increasing digital engagement, so lowering the cost to serve your customers, increasing customer satisfaction, so that customers are more satisfied and happier and more likely to participate in other programs. And lastly, seeing the utility as a trusted partner. So there's a lot of challenges, but there are also a ton of opportunities here, and we like to focus on the positive. So with that, let me turn things over here to my colleague, Maria, who will share with you about the Bidgely solution. Maria?
Thank you, Ricky. Yep, happy to walk through this, and Ricky's going to drive the slides for me. Just I'm having a bit of internet trouble, but happy to speak to these. So I'll start out, if you go back one, Ricky. One more, there we go, perfect. So when we thought about those challenges and opportunities, we did some exercising of, you know, some design thinking principles and mapped out some customer journeys. And we mapped out both the journey of a utility, you know, what steps could they take to optimize participation, and the journey for customers, and also what is the optimal you know, low income, moderate income, or disadvantaged community journey look like. And so we came up with really these 3 buckets. First, identifying, you know, there's a lot of different eligibility criteria, which I'll get to, but making sure that everyone's on the same page for each program. What's the eligibility criteria? what's the timing of the eligibility? Are they eligible now? Does it have to be a certain period of time, that they would meet that criteria? And then actually the final one is, are there attributes that would indicate that this person may be eligible in the coming months? And can we start to prepare those customers, inform them about opportunities they would have should finances become a problem? Once we identify that, we go on to analyzing customer usage, both through, their energy data. So we have our analytics workbench platform, which is a business intelligence tool that allows utilities to evaluate that data. And then what we do is we actually can layer on some, income oriented data. So this is non-energy data, but that is going to be census data or Experian data that combined with energy data will give you that complete picture. So you understand how to engage and address these customers. And then finally, based on what you see, you have a variety of different mechanisms that'll probably be aligned to your program budgets to engage the customers. So of course we have our home energy reports, but that this is where we recommend the hyper-personalization. We have a lot of low income modules or income qualified modules on those home energy reports. We have dedicated alerting for low to moderate income customers. We have budget billing alerts so that customers who are on budget billing or payment arrangements can understand, how that works and month to month understand their usage. We have a marketplace and can offer low cost or no cost products and services. This is one thing we see. We don't want that gap of smart technology to widen any further. So how do we meet LMI customers where they are and provide them with energy efficient products and services? Then we have a combination of dedicated web and online audits, as well as a call center. So essentially equipping the call center with the right information so that when that person does engage, you know where to direct them. And that, that's your opportunity if they are calling on a high bill to help point them in the direction of support. So I'm just going to talk a bit about eligibility. I'm sure you all know it's not one size fits all. Of course, there's federal eligibility, which is customers who fall within 150% of the federal poverty income guidelines. But then there's also state by state guidance. So we see, a low income qualification that would be below a certain percentage of the SMI or state median income. We have X to Y percent or a certain percent of households that fall within the median income within that state. And then there's actually some states, that are actually identifying other indicators. So for example, California has, some alternative strategies, using disadvantaged communities or DAC or hard to reach communities as qualification as well for certain programs that are in addition to your standard income qualification programs. So with that, let's talk about, knowing who would qualify or who's eligible. How do you use that qualification and the information you have about your customers to create meaningful segments with data science? So you'll see at the bottom here, we have the different data pools we can work from. So, our Bidgely traditional data is going to be housing type, energy consumption, DER consumption, what's their fuel type and efficiency of their appliances. We have secondary insights, which come from that base analysis, which include neighborhood insights, lifestyle indicators, and engagement level. And then finally, we have those additional data sources that I mentioned that we bring into layer on top of this, which include former program participation or current program participation. So perhaps your energy efficiency, your LIHEAP, age or persona data, explicit income data, And then things like the number of household members, or residents, that can all be used to inform how you want to engage this customer. And so, up here you'll see, you might know that you have a millennial. Well, that one's not the best example, but we'll do, you have a commuter with 3 kids. You're going to engage that person differently than a customer who's low income, but who may have, a low efficiency HVAC. You'd address them in a different way than someone who's an eco-conscious customer in a single family home. And so using these segments, you can hyper-personalize the actions you'll take. So this is just building on what I just mentioned. Segmentation, traditional segmentation, I'll say, fails to use all of the data that we have available to us. And using advanced segmentation, we can really get to the heart of each customer and personalize to the degree that it'll be meaningful and drive them to action. So, typical disag will result in appliance characteristics and their appliance profile. We also can start to see their consumption trends. And even when you layer that on top of the lifestyle attributes, we begin to see this full profile of an LMI customer. And so then we can, one, match them with the best programs that are fit for them, but also understand, the likelihood of them actually participating or needing this program. So now I'm just going to walk you through a couple different, we'll call them personas, but, we were mentioning the different flavors of LMI, or, I guess we said, are all LMI customers the same? And we don't believe they are. While they all have common attributes based on income, they're very different. They live in different areas, different types of homes, have different jobs, have different, really lifestyle situations. And so we consider a couple of these, and, these aren't the only 3 journeys we have, but essentially what this gets across is that a one-size-fits-all program isn't going to work. We don't think there's a single silver bullet. We think it's a compound program that focuses on different behaviors and different personas. So for example, here's Jayesh. He's an eco-conscious customer, and he's tech savvy, happens to be low income, but he really appreciates understanding his bill and appreciates insights to saving money. So he receives a monthly summary, he reads it, he gives us a thumbs up. We immediately know he's an engaged tech consumer, so that goes into his profile. We send him an energy savings challenge. He responds to that. We continue to know he's going to be engaged and enjoys that gamification. And then we send him the monthly bill projection every month, so that in addition to, really getting the insights, we are bringing it back to the monetary piece as well. Let's go to the next slide, Ricky. So then we have Anastasia. So she's a busy mom. She doesn't have a ton of time or desire really to understand the nuances of her energy costs, but she's really money conscious. So if you send her an email that would reflect a value to her or cost saving, she's going to be very intrigued. And so, we can see this starting out by she constantly is engaging with alerts that are around cost savings or cost implications. So you would see her, if there was a rate comparison that showed her the monetary benefits of switching rates, we would send her that, she would engage. We can send her regular high usage alerts to notify her that she should reduce her energy before a high bill could come. And then we also, note that she's very cost driven. And so if provided a return on investment for products, or maybe even a free product, she'd be likely to purchase or engage with, knowing that there would be that return on investment. And then let's go to Rosa. Yeah. So Rosa she's a senior citizen and she's not as tech savvy. She does like using her smartphone, but she really appreciates, the feel of paper still. And so we also, for clients who prefer paper, still offer paper insights, maybe with larger text or with community insights as well. But this still has all the analytical layers that everyone else received, but in a single paper report. So she still has her low-cost tips, low-cost product offerings. She still has her top appliance usage and monetary savings offered. And then finally, there is that offer where she could still get to the web platform, but via a QR code on her paper report. And so all of this brings me to, the heart of this, which there aren't any two customers who are alike. Certain customers share certain types of interests or, lifestyles. But this is why hyper-personalized offerings and matching programs and emails to a customer's interests are really important. And so we have hyper-personalized emails and obviously paper. But what it does is it raises awareness of available programs, highlights support options, and then provides the really personalized context that explains to this customer why they're being shown this information. And this really gets us back to, I think we had a quiz question on this. SEC has shown that less than half of low-income customers are actually familiar with all the programs that are available. And so we believe a big part of the battle is really making sure that you're engaging through multiple channels and with information that really drives the customer to action and understanding. And let's go to the last slide. Yeah, thank you. So finally, we also don't want to forget how we can incorporate partners that can serve as utility ambassadors. These, include NAUAC, regulatory commissions, consumer advocates, energy assistance agencies, houses of worship, and just any community-based organization. Oftentimes, we do want the utility to be a trusted partner, but additionally, hearing information from these third parties can serve as a conduit as well. And so utilities should leverage that partnership to drive more engagement.
I really wish the breakout rooms were longer because we were surfacing some really interesting challenges that folks were having, and folks are working on a ton of different programs and things for LMI. So please do follow up with us after the folks that were in your moderator room. I'll share my screen actually so that you guys can see their contact information. Just really quickly, I know we're running out of time, but if the moderators could just share maybe one takeaway from your room, that'd be great.
I guess I'll go first. So we got going and we were going around the room. We had an interesting mix of folks in our session, but a recurring theme is engagement. And then what was sort of rose to the top immediately was some of the engagement issues and challenges facing folks with lack of trust, and then CBOs, community-based organizations that provide services seem to be a recurring theme as an optimal channel or a best in class type of channel with which to engage the LMI populations in each respective area.
Great, thanks. Ricky, you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, we had a great group and address the challenges with pride and, not being judgmental to customers and offering a lending hand and really talking about how to build trust, as Brian just mentioned, so that we can ultimately help customers overcome the already burdensome process of applying for, energy assistance or other applicable programs and offer a lending hand at all times.
Great. And Dorcas and Maria?
Yeah, Dorcas might have dropped. I have to drop soon too, but we had a really, I would say like far stretching conversation. And I think my favorite thing I'll share is I think towards the end of our call, Eric brought up, or at the end of our breakout room, Eric mentioned rate design and how rate design is already going through, so much upheaval in the industry, and so much within that could be done to support LMI customers. And personally, I never thought of it that way. And I now, like, after I processed it a little, really like it. And so, something I'm going to dig in more.
Fantastic. Great. I'll leave it to ACEEE if you have any closing words, but I feel like we just started the conversation. So please do reach out to us to further that conversation, as well as, I don't know about sharing like who else was in the breakout rooms, but it sounds like there's a lot of cross knowledge that can happen here as well. So thank you for
Sophia,
joining.
actually, before you turn it over to Ruben, do you mind going back one slide here?
Yeah.
So we've got our Engage annual conference coming up starting next week. Just a quick 30-second video here to share with you guys. Sophia, are you able
You should
to
probably share sound.
the volume?
It's a checkbox when you hit share screen.
Thanks. I have to stop and then share again.
You'll see the checkbox in the bottom left.
Great. Okay.
We need to start to remove the barriers that have been historically in place that are preventing certain groups of customers from participating in our programs. And that starts with listening. That starts with understanding the barriers, understanding what is preventing our customers from participating, and finding unique and innovative opportunities so that they can participate and achieve that promise of tomorrow.
Thanks for that reminder, Ricky. Yes, please continue the conversation with us at Engage. We have, again, it's kind of just bringing a community of people that are working on this issue. I feel like we're going to find so many great ideas through conversation. So really appreciate, again, everyone for attending. Any closing words, Ruben? Okay.
I just wanted to say thanks again, everybody. Really appreciate your attendance. And I think it was a great workshop. Thank you to the folks at Bidgely. And of course, if you're planning on coming to the conference, you like this kind of topic, register for BECC today because the prices are going up tomorrow. And stay tuned to beccconference.org for our last free webinar at the end of next month. Have a great day. And that's about wraps it up.